Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach, Bruchim habayim. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This week we'll be reading Parashat Vayetze. And we know the parasha starts with Yaakov Avinu fleeing from his home after Esav said he's going to kill his brother Yaakov after Yitzchak passes away. And when Yaakov Avinu went to sleep in the holy spot where the Bet HaMikdash will be eventually in the future, we know he had the dream of the ladders and the malachim going up and down. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu appeared to Yaakov in his dream and said, Yaakov, I am God, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, and I'm the God of your grandfather Avraham, and I'm the God of your father, Yitzchak. But we know, and many people ask, Chazal ask right away, that Hashem only puts his name with someone once that person passes away. Because we only know after a person leaves this world if he was fully righteous and he was really a tzaddik. Like the Gemara explains that there used to be a Kohen Gadol, Rabbi Yochanan. For many, many years, he was a righteous man and he was a Kohen Gadol, he was a tzaddik. But only towards the later in his life, the end of his life, unfortunately, he sinned. And that's how he passed away. And the Gemara is trying to tell us that even a tzaddik in his old age is possible to sin. So that's why we know HaKadosh Baruch Hu never puts his name with someone, says the God of someone, until they fully pass away, so we know that they never sinned. So how come with Yitzchak, we know Avraham passed away, but Yitzchak was still alive? How come the Pasuk says, Elohei Yitzchak? So Rashi right away on the spot tells us, even though Yitzchak was alive, and usually he wouldn't say Elohei Yitzchak, but because Yitzchak was blind, and he was confined in his home, and he was already at a very old age, and he wasn't going anywhere, we know the Gemara says that there's a few people that are considered dead, and one of them is if you're blind. And since he was blind and he wasn't leaving in his house, the Yetzer Harah gave up on him, because he said, there's nothing I could do to Yitzchak anymore. I cannot entice him to sin. So that's why, while he was alive, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, Elohei Yitzchak, even though he did not pass away yet. But the Torah is trying to teach us something over here. Look at our forefathers. We say Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov. Only after they pass away and they leave this world, and we're not talking about a regular Rav, we're talking about our Avot HaKadoshim. Only after they leave this world and they finish their time on this world, only then they have the name of Elohei, whatever father, Elohei Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. So what about us, Rabotai? What about us, whether we're 15, 20, 40, 70, we're still living in this world? What about us? Can we say I'm already a tzaddik and I'm not going to sin anymore? I'm 60 years old, I'm 50 years old, I'm 80, 90. We have the story of Rabbi Yochanan in the Gemara that even at an old age he ended up sinning. So we have to understand the Torah is trying to teach us. Chazal is trying to teach us that we can never escape the Yetzer Harah. There's no such a thing, no, I'm good, don't worry about me. Even our biggest Gedolim of our generation or the previous generation, unfortunately sometimes people could fall. Even the biggest Gadol needs to work on his Yetzer Harah. It's every single day a battle. You know, it's the worst thing that we say. We're talking to ourselves, especially today in our generation. When it comes to something so obvious or something that's so often, we say, I'm already used to it. The Yetzer Harah tries to get us every day. I'm already used to that. I'll pass. That is the scariest part, Rabotai. When we live in a society, when we live in the world of technology, we live where we are today, our children, us, adults, where everything we're used to, where everything is obvious, it's the same thing. The world is so crazy that everything is normal. If we speak to our grandparents, our great-grandparents, telling them what's going on in this world, they'll be shook. But because everything is normal, the Yetzer Harah tells us, oh, don't worry, you don't have to work on the Yetzer Harah today. I'm not going to bother you. You're going to see the same thing you saw yesterday. You're going to do the same thing. That is when we really have to be careful, Rabbatai. We're learning here from Avot HaKadoshim that even in old age, even if you're the biggest tzaddik, even if you sit and learn Torah, we have to be so careful with how we do, where we go, what we look at. We have to be careful. The Yetzer Harah fights us every day, but we also have to know that the Borei Olam, God, will never give us a challenge. And we all have challenges every single day. Hashem will never give you a challenge that you cannot pass. So every day there's going to be a challenge. Every day when we wake up, the Yetzer Harah is going to say, how am I going to get you today? Whether it's going to be with money, whether it's going to be with women, whether it's going to be with kashrut, whether he's going to convince you to not put on tefillin, to not keep Shabbat. Oh, last week I didn't keep Shabbat, so this week I don't have to keep Shabbat again. Yesterday I didn't put on tefillin, so what's going to happen if another day I'm not going to put on tefillin? Rabotai, this is the Yetzer Harah that's talking to us. He's trying to convince us that we're doing is good. And really it's not. So Be'ezat Hashem, if we realize this, we learn from Avot HaKadoshim how holy they were, how careful they were from not doing avonot, from coming closer to the Borei Olam. Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll see the Geula very soon. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.